What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today is super exciting because the 8.6 is finally moving on to phase 2 with the addition of the Aero chassis mount splitter. So this is my second chassis mount splitter. As you guys may know, I used to have a chassis mount splitter on my Impreza, and I love that thing. It made it super aggressive. It just looked really cool, and of course it was chassis mounted, so you could hit, scrape, or do whatever, and it really wouldn't be damaged. So I decided to go the same route with my 8.6. So this is the large version of the splitter, so it's meant to accommodate more aggressive front lips and front bumpers. And I'm kind of just looking to the future here, because right now I have this CS style front lip, which isn't the most aggressive for this platform, but I figured since I'll end up getting something else in the future, I might as well get the biggest splitter they have available, just so you know we're ready for whatever it is to come. So today we're going to install this. Shouldn't be that hard. Got to take off the bumper, jack up the car, do everything. First I'm going to show you what's inside both these boxes right here. It's all your hardware, and then obviously this is your giant splitter. So let's get right into it. So here I have laid out all the hardware and brackets that come with the kit. So we got these two here that mount behind the crash bar. These are some side supports. These are some center supports, and there are some other additional supports there. So pretty straightforward stuff. I'm going to be following the video provided by Aero on their YouTube channel, so I'll link it down below. Here we got winglets and some stickers. And of course the entire bag of hardware here would include everything you need to mount it up. Also, the kit's supposed to come with this leading edge guard, but for some reason I didn't see it in my box here, so good thing I had an extra set here. But yeah, make sure your kit comes with this, because this goes around the edge of the splitter here. Yeah, I took the splitter out of the box and just wanted to mock it up with the bumper here. As you can see, it is pretty aggressive for what it is. Although actually I think the lip was a little bigger than I thought, so it actually doesn't look that disproportionate as much as I thought it would. So this is going to look really sick on the car. Now I did raise the car up about ½ an inch just to accommodate for this, and I figured it was about time. You know, I was getting kind of tired of worrying about buckling my fender from being kind of low, and also with the splitter here it's probably going to be a lot easier to scrape on everything, but honestly, like, it's not as thick as I thought it would be. So honestly, I think we got the perfect height for this and still be able to drive the car everywhere. So yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and take the front bumper off, get the car up in the air, and then we can go ahead and start installing all these brackets. And it should be a pretty simple install, so let's get right to it. After getting the bumper off, I still had these OEM splash guard things for the center here, and the video said to remove those. So that's what I went and did. It's just a couple of 10mm bolts and clips. It all comes off in 2 pieces here. So the splitter is going to cover all of this here, so there's really no need for it, I guess. And I think it's for the clearance of the brackets. I also have the fender liner here still, so I'm going to just probably try to keep that. What I ended up doing is what I did for the Impreza also. I kind of just had it rest here. I didn't really use the clips on the bottom of the bumper anymore, so looks like we're heading that direction now. I realized all my ballast fell off the V-lands. I guess I wasn't using the actual real 3M tape, so it fell off, so I'm gonna have to go get some right now. I also had to disconnect my underglow because I had this mounted to the bottom of the bumper, and you know, the splitter covers the bottom of the bumper, so you won't be able to see this. So I just cut it off. I'll get to getting the rest of it off the car later on, but yeah, now I'm gonna have to do some other work here to get everything nice and organized, and then we can go ahead and get started with the install. Alright, so this won't be a full-on how-to video because I'm also figuring this out myself as we go here, but I'm going to follow along the video provided by Modinfinite on how to install this splitter. After you get the bumper off and the lower splash guard off, you can start doing some clearance things here. So first you want to loosen up the windshield washer reservoir so that you can have some room to bolt up the crash bar bracket. Looks like it is just a 10mm. Lift it up off the bottom here and move it out of the way. Some fuel clips up here to remove for this plastic trim that goes onto the crash bar. I removed the crash bar. There's 4 12mm bolts 2 up top, 2 on the bottom on both sides. And this might get a little tricky if you're doing this by yourself, so I'm gonna try my best to not drop this thing. But yeah, we're gonna take off the crash bar and then we're gonna mount up the crash bar brackets, which are these ones here, these curved long ones. So we're gonna do that here real quick. Alright, that was quite possibly the hardest thing ever because of this crash bar, and I'm by myself, but pretty much probably the best way to do this, I'd say put some double-sided tape behind the bracket that goes into the crash beam right here, just so it holds it in place, and then do that on both sides. And I guess you do have to end up taking this off, so take the crash beam off, kind of stick them on with tape, these brackets here, and then put the crash beam back in position and start putting the bolts on. And that's how I got this on by myself, but otherwise, oh my, that was quite the task. As you can see, this is how they're mounted. So the curve here, and it goes in like this on this side. This is the driver's side, so see the brackets placed like this. The back piece is sandwiched against the crash beam like this. On the passenger side, kind of same idea, but it's going the other way, so you can see the angle of the bracket there, and it's going over this way, sandwiching the crash beam and the back of the bracket to the car. After this is probably the hardest step, honestly. I think else is pretty much self-explanatory, but we're gonna get these other brackets here. These will go onto the splitter themselves. So after I figure out which way these go, which I'm guessing it's like this, because this allows you to adjust the angle and whatnot. I'm gonna do that, put those on loosely here, put the rest of the brackets on, and I'll try my best to walk you guys through that. We're almost done. So yeah, let's get to it. As you can see, these are how these are mounted here. The long portion is facing towards the back of the car, and we're using the big bolts here. These are 14 mils. So I have these bolts loosely on so we can adjust the height of the splitter here, as you can see. And it looks like these 3 mounting points here are the main points for the splitter here. So yeah, there's also one more that goes in the back. As you can see, the holes here on the splitter, there's the 2 that were center, and there's one back here. I believe that is this bracket right here for the side. But next we need to put on these ones here, and these smaller brackets here go along the side like this. I'm gonna figure out which way it goes, but it's probably just an extra brace for the crash bar bracket here. So I believe it goes, I figured this out, but it goes one of these ways. And yeah, so I still have the bolts for the crash bar kind of loose so that I can still shift this side to side just in case it's not perfectly center. I think I would bolt on the splitter first, get it to where these are already in place, and then tighten everything up on the crash bar. But we also need to get the right height for the splitter here, because this could be too low, too high, not sure. So I'm gonna get all the other braces on and the side brace here. I think I might need to cut the fender liner to clear this hole here. I'm still trying to retain this, so we might have to do some custom work there. But so here are all the braces mounted up. Honestly, it looks kind of intimidating because all the hardware and everything. Honestly, everything only fits one way. So as you can see, again, we use the bigger bolts here for the center braces here. Side here, you can see this is the driver's side right now. This is how that radiator support is mounted onto the center bracket there. So the big bolts up top, smaller ones down here, those are the 10 mil Allen and bolt combination there. And then of course everything gets a washer along the side here. This is the driver's side once again. This is the side bracket here. So up top here there are a few holes, but if you just take a good look here, one there, and one there. So the third hole towards the inside of the car is going to be the one for the top of this brace here. As you can see, this is how it goes. Hopefully I have it in the right way. It's either this way or the other way, so we'll find out here. But yeah, so that gets 2 big washers there. You'll see that in the kit. And then it gets the smaller hex key and the 10 mil bolt at the end there. And honestly, that's pretty much it. So the rest of these smaller bolts will thread into this from the bottom of the splitter, and obviously repeat this on the other side. So I just have these loosely put on right now. Probably just gonna mock up the splitter here and see where we're at. So I'm gonna use a jack to get it up in the air. rigging it up right there. It looks pretty freaking cool. So I'm gonna get some of the bolts on the bottom there started here. Let's see where this goes. So I brought the bumper back here just to mock it up quick, and oh my goodness guys, this looks so cool. And honestly, it's not like as big as I thought it'd be, because I was afraid it would look too disproportionate, but honestly it is perfect right here. As you can see, it lines up super nice. Obviously nothing's bolted on or tight. Problem I ran into is we're missing some hardware in the bag I got. Luckily I had some extra laying around from my other chassis mount splitter, but honestly that's quite unfortunate for this, where it did not come with everything that is needed to install. Your experience may differ depending on where you get it from, but I just so happen to not have all the hardware included in my kit. But yeah guys, look at this. This is so awesome. I love the way this is gonna look, and honestly I'm just super excited to get it on the car. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the jack, I'm gonna jack up the splitter all the way until it hits the bumper and hold it there, take the bumper off, and then tighten those bracket bolts that are going to the splitter there and just set the height to where it should be. Then just kind of button everything back and put it on the ground, take it out and see what it looks like. But so far I'm so stoked on how this is turning out. Ran into a few hiccups, but that's to be expected with any install, I feel like. Yeah guys, this is super cool. Let's go ahead and finish it up. So I was trying for a little bit here to get the bumper back on, but it did not seem to clear, and now I found out why. There's this piece here on my 2020 8.6 bumper. I'm not really sure what it does. I guess it blocks some of the vents or something, but anyway, this was hitting the center bracket, so it takes 3 Phillips head screws to take off, and now it should fit, because I was having a grand old time trying to get this on. I thought it was the height of the splitter was the problem, but it was literally that piece right there. So if you have a 17 to 20 8.6 bumper, or maybe even the BRZ has the same problem, then take this off. So this install definitely took way longer than I wanted to, because it just ran into so many little hiccups and everything, but we are finally done. And oh my gosh guys, this is insane looking. Can't believe I have a front splitter already on this car. Now this lip doesn't quite sit flush, which kind of sucks. I really can't really do much about that, but in the future when we get a different lip, we should be able to align this a lot better and have it sit flush against the lip. But either way, it is on the car now. My side markers are still broken, which actually really sucks. So I have them zip tied in there right now, and it looks really janky. Just have to get the car on the ground, see how much lower we are. It's really not too bad, but I know it's gonna scrape, but it's gonna look super aggressive. Look at the side from here, guys. I think it does line up with the wheel perfectly. I was afraid it was gonna stick out too much and not look right, but this looks insane. And once we get the Voltec swing back there, it's gonna look even better. But for now, here we are. Here it is guys, the front splitter is officially on. This thing looks insane. As you can see, it is huge. So this is the XL size of the Battle Aero chassis mount splitter for the FRS BRZ and 8.6. As you can kind of give a good impression here on how big it is. It definitely sticks out a bit. So right now I'm trying to source out a front lip for this car. Something different. I'm really thinking about the TRD lip for the Koki 8.6. I think it looks pretty good. Of course, I did order a C West lip a couple months ago, but they ended up canceling my order because lead time would be too long, they said. So I'm kind of glad they canceled it, because I was still kind of debating. I really wanted that one, but as you guys can see, it changes up the front end completely, and it'll definitely look a lot better once I have the rest of the Aero on. But yeah, install was pretty easy. I ran into a few hiccups. That's more on my end really, and there were some things like I was missing hardware and the edge guard. I think I had some on hand, but that kind of sucked. So anyway, there it is guys. Battle Aero chassis mount splitter on my 8.6. Anyway, that's gonna be it for the video, guys. Hopefully this helps some of you guys out that are looking to purchase the splitter. I think it's worth it. I think there was a recent price increase on all Battle Aero products, so it might be a little pricey now, but honestly, if you want a nice aggressive look for your car and something that is probably pretty functional on the track. I definitely recommend the Battle Aero chassis mount splitter. And of course, if you have an expensive lip or something you want to protect, this thing can definitely take a lot of impact. I mean, especially on my Impreza when I drove super low, I had no problem scraping it and hitting it on crazy bumps and inclines, and it's never failed on me. Except the one time I drove a little too low and I broke the wing lip, but that's on me. Anyway guys, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at will.kgfx, at Katana Style, katanastyle.com, and at katana.style on Instagram. And I'll catch you guys later.